introduction to the podcast. Welcome to unnamed, undetermined podcast.
Comment.
Subscribe.
yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
I'm getting first comment, so don't worry about that.
The first thing we do, no, like literally, we haven't said anything important at all. It's just, yeah, this is a podcast. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
If you like what you see.
Yeah.
Mash that, mash
to
that
the
like
point.
button
Yeah.
for the YouTube algorithm.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
See you next week.
And
Yeah.
gals. And gals.
All right. Well, I'm Cole.
No one
Oh, I'm Tucker.
Sorry.
Uh,
I'm Grant.
Caleb. I'm Nolan.
yeah. This is
Or am I?
This is the keeper of the house, so we have to
right.
all behave around him. So
don't
yeah.
have to.
What do we want to get into first, boys?
Low key, I do think Tucker's story is a pretty good one to start on. So
All right.
I'm kind of curious.
All right, Tucker.
I mean, it's a pretty, like, I don't know if it's going to be the best thing for
It's a
the
good- it's a good
Okay, so this
I'm
this
already
is going to
hyped.
be like, if this story hits, the podcast is going to go great. If not,
We'll just shut it down.
okay.
Okay, so
We'll just-
like positive or not. If it fails, we could. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just blame me.
when this
Blame
podcast
me.
doesn't work,
We're just
I'm
gonna
Yeah,
cut it all
sue you.
out and restart.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
not-
this-
when you leave for no, when you leave.
He's probably not even gonna post this.
Yeah.
Probably not.
He's gonna look.
I have an
He's gonna
episode.
look over it.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
not. So yesterday, I went to CrossFit around lunch, and then after CrossFit, I went over to Blaze. And usually when you go to the gym, you get like the gym like grime on your hands. So I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom before I order because there's not a lot of time in between you when you order to go to the bathroom. So I went in the men's bathroom, and I like immediately just went to the sink, and I like smelled this just rancid smell. And so I'm at the sink. I look over the toilet. The toilet is covered in feces. Just poop smeared like all over the seat. Not
Outside.
On the seat.
on the seat. Like not like someone had like some splashback, up on the seat. No, it was like someone took it in their hand and massaged it into the toilet seat. And even how like some of them have like the horseshoe like in the middle where it's
Yeah.
that was covered too. So it was a deliberate act.
It was-
so
it was
like
intentional.
the smell was terrible. So I'm like, as soon as I get done washing my hands, I'm gonna go out here and tell the employees like, you all got to fix this because I am, I was raised on a farm. I know what poop smells like. I'm disgusted.
Or anyone knows what poop
So
smells like.
I open the door and there's two employees standing there. I'm like, my first thought goes to my brain like, they're gonna think I'm the one that did this.
Guilty.
So I get out of there as fast as I can.
Somebody in there. I don't know.
You're pointing your hands back and just cover it.
Yeah.
It just runs away from the seat.
What God?
That's completely runs
Yeah, like
away.
what psychopath?
If you had to ask me that, it seems like somebody just took a turd.
Just-
That's just my idea.
Just imagine a stick of butter, just like greasing. And it wasn't, it wasn't like diarrhea poop. This was like real
They had to, like,
mushy.
fix it
They had to like
Real good manure quality.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was struggling a little bit to get it out. It was not like something where it was just like a big splash.
Oh,
so
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
so they go in there and clean it. And so when I walk by, I'm like, oh, okay. If they were there waiting, somebody else must have tipped them off. So, like they're not going to think I did that. So that's great. That's good. So I go and get my food. And while I'm in line, I'm like, what if the person that did this is still in Blaze?
Still among us.
So I'm like, looking over my shoulder, like scanning through the crowd to see if there's anybody. And there was a couple people that I was like, it could have been him. Obviously all the females, I don't know if they would go into that bathroom. Most likely not. So I eliminated them. I'm like playing my detective.
Yeah.
And there was one guy that I was like, it could have been him, but I didn't want to like call him out on it. I mean, he seemed like he
Just
his
walks
wife
up
was
to
there.
him. Did you?
Yeah, did you smear poop all over this?
Show me your hands right
Show
now.
me your fingernails.
I smell them.
Yeah.
Licking his fingers.
It's like you didn't have a chocolate chip cookie, did you? But anyway, like I got to thinking about it, I was like, if this guy did this, like a sane person would go in there, do that, and then leave, right? Like not saying that I would ever do that, but if I ever wanted to do
But
that,
if I ever did, yeah.
I would hit and run. I would not stay in that building, you know? But if this guy went in there, did that, and then came back and either ordered his food and ate it or just went back out and ate it, what a complete savage, you know? like the psychopath.
Okay.
There's a psychopath at Bowling Green running around smearing poop on toilets.
Okay,
It's the
so what about
respect,
this guy
though.
though? You looked at him and you're like, this guy could
It
have
could
been
it could have been him, but, you know, I don't know.
Was he eating alone?
His wife
Okay.
was there, but they were kind of like, you know,
What
there's
a double life
some
this
people
guy
that,
is
they just
leading.
look like they smell, you know, like
Yeah.
you know. But I don't want to pass judgment. I didn't, you know. I was just sitting there. It was something for me to think about while I was eating. It was very encouraging.
What a
And,
delicious thought to think.
oh man, dude, about halfway through like my meal, I had a salad and a pizza, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this, man, because the smell was so bad. Like it smelled, you know, worse than a sewer does.
And
So,
you grew up on a farm, so that's
yeah,
impressive.
dude. It was
That's
a,
impressive.
you know, and it happened at lunchtime, and so one of my best friends, Caleb Lee, we like tell each other stories when stuff like this happens, and like I tried to call him immediately to tell him about it, and he was just dying laughing. Oh, it was like, and I told him, I was like, I should have taken a picture of it because like I
I
could
don't
see
know
it.
if he
It's
does.
seared into my mind of what this like. I could recreate it on our toilet, not with poop, with like paint, like what it
Yeah.
looked like. But it looked. I mean, it literally looked like someone just rubbed it in. You know, like they were doing a good.
I'll take your word.
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But
I, need to see
I should have
that
got a picture of it.
I love how
but
that's
it
the
was-
first thing.
That'd have been worse.
First thing
Someone
we
walks
talked
in,
about.
you're sitting there with your
Yeah, just
So living in a dorm, there was definitely stuff like that where I
Oh,
was like,
dude,
I
that's
almost
kinda
want to take a
annoying.
picture of this just because this is so impressive.
Nobody flushes in those though. They just keep piling it up. It's nasty.
Yeah.
Can I
Piling up, dude.
can I do one more story from my dorm?
One
Oh,
One
yeah, go for it.
So you're talking about the bathrooms in the dorm. So I was in McCormick in the Valley, and it was kind of, you know, not like the worst dorm, but probably one of, you know, the lower tier.
yeah.
And we had like 8 or 9 bathroom stalls in there, and then you had the showers on the other end. And I went in there one time and went, you know, like sat down to do my business. And I look on the ground, and there are chicken wings, bones, like sitting on the floor, like a pile of them, like neatly. And I'm like, well, you know, someone must have got hungry while they were in here, or they just, you know, they eat chicken wings, just really had to go, and they just left them there. You know, I was just like, what is
honest
going on?
mistake. Honest
I
mistake.
mean, you know, like, you know, you
It
sitting there like,
happens, man.
you know, like, oh, I gotta go poop, and you take your chicken wings in there with, like, we might as well eat them, you know.
Or if
Is-
they're real spicy, they were just like they knew they were gonna be there anyways.
Yeah,
They were just,
you know, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know.
Is eating in the bathroom one of the worst places you could eat at?
I mean,
Is that top rank?
Yes.
Probably.
I can't think of anything worse off the top of my
question is
head.
that?
I mean, hey.
What's worse? What's the worst place than eating in the bathroom?
I don't
Yeah.
think
In
about
in a morgue, maybe, or
Comment.
that. It's a good-
Comment.
No, don't comment. Comment anything but that.
no.
It's our first subject.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like,
What's worse than eating in the bathroom?
Comment your public poop stories, please.
Oh,
I've got
this
more.
is what will be remembered.
like those
for.
poop stories. Have you ever read like the Amazon reviews for like the sugar-free like gummy bears and stuff?
Yes, yes.
Those are that is pure comedy. Like that's the absolute best thing you can ever do. It is the best.
I will say you mentioned like wanting to take a picture. It reminded me of just like things that you probably shouldn't take pictures of, but you just have to, dude. Like I have really bad nosebleeds, and sometimes like I was working at McDonald's, and I just had like the worst nosebleed, and I just like it got all over the sink, and it looked like someone had died, and I could not help but take a picture. And like I mean, you got like the blood clot there too,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
dangling. from
that's
the
great.
cleanup.
Yeah,
It's-
right.
It's so like it's so thick. I'm about to clog the drain. With it.
That's nice.
I'm kind of proud of that one.
Yeah. Yeah, like what does anybody else have like a picture that they're like, you know, I'm not going to share this with anybody, but my closest friend, you know, like you would not, anyone else.
My
Not- Hey, I'm not. Listen, you all with your dirty mind. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking like,
I mean, no one is.
No,
Okay.
Nolan. So,
wait, like,
so one time we were all staying. It was me, Grant, Nolan, and then like some of his other family, and it's spring break, and we're staying at their older brother's house, and it's just me, Grant, and Nolan, and we're like changing in the dark, right? And I start taking my clothes off. I go down to my underwear, and all of a sudden we hear chick chick, and I turn around and Nolan's holding his phone up, just like looking at me, and we're like, "Yo, what in the
Okay.
world?"
So it wasn't a camera. It was some like dumb app where like you can pick out different guns, like you shoot them and like you like cock it and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
But whenever I like
Right.
cocked it, it sounds like for
Sound like-
whatever reason it sounds just like you're snapping a picture. And I happened to do it as soon as Cole just like
Right.
started taking everything off.
Right.
It takes somebody to-
That, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no.
I don't even wish it was my camera now.
If only you were so lucky.
Oh,
Missed
man.
opportunity.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any like crazy public bathroom stories?
Honestly, not really. You think being in a dorm for 2 years? Well,
Would
I
you-
have
I think
something
I just
crazy
blocked
happen.
all those out of my memory. They're too traumatic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very good at finding a good bathroom, so I kind of avoid all emergency situations.
All bathrooms.
Yeah. Hey,
Cool.
bathrooms
When-
are important.
When
Bunch of
bushes
history.
exist, yeah. Like,
Dude,
what-
I'm taking road trips or something. Like bathrooms are priority.
you gotta go to like a pilot or a lodge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Those
Yes.
are essentials. They're essentials.
Top 10, or well, let's do like top 5. Top 5 bathrooms on the interstate.
Sure,
What are you gonna stop for?
Urinal.
Let's do like 5. Urinal.
Just set a urinal.
Number 2.
Like Caleb.
It just goes to, it just goes to I don't even know.
Okay,
what's
you know
what it
those like when there's like a gas station, but the bathroom's not like in the gas station. They have like a separate little building.
is. Dude, like what's
Oh.
in the back?
But
Like,
it's,
it's
like,
like
right
outside.
outside.
Yeah, literally. Those are like the
Oh.
little sketchy things. That
Yeah.
You just don't go.
You like
They're
ask
usually
for
like
a
locked.
key.
You have to,
Yeah,
you have,
gotta get a
you have to go
key.
inside, get a key, go back outside, and
Yeah.
then when it's like winter out and it's like
Oh yeah.
0 degrees, and you get in there and it's like,
Yeah, those are the
all
worst.
comfy.
Yeah.
But
It's rough.
top 5 list: Buc-ee's, Pilot, Love's, McDonald's,
McDonald's is pretty reliable.
and Taco Bell.
Taco
Taco
bathroom?
Bell.
I
Okay,
don't
let's
know.
think about
Taco Bell.
food and think about like plus the bathroom.
Yeah,
I don't know,
but
about
their bathrooms usually are pretty clean.
That's probably
I'll
why
give
they're
them
more
credit.
clean though, because they're like
They gotta stay on
have
top
to-
of it.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
There's only
boys.
so much you can do.
They probably have like one dedicated person like in the back, and every time they see someone like come out, they like
Sirens
They gotta
go
run.
off. Just
number real quick, fix it up for the next person.
Oh, man.
Well, there's one that y'all left out that's like the best one.
Mm.
Is hotel lobby bathrooms.
Really?
Yes, it's like
really?
like if you're just like I need a really clean bathroom,
Hotels.
hotel lobby.
I've never even
See,
thought
they may
of
not be
that.
able to get the
Yeah.
bed bugs out, but they can definitely keep
Yeah.
it back.
Well, I mean, you think about it. Who uses the hotel lobby bathroom? The people that stay at the hotel aren't going to because they have their own bathroom, right? How
That's
many people are
smart.
going to stop at a hotel to use the bathroom? So
Yeah,
literally,
Do you think that's an issue that the hotel people have to deal with? Just people walking in to use their bathroom
I mean,
and then just walking.
I mean-
They don't know if you gotta.
no, they have no
I mean, I
idea.
guess
They don't
not.
care.
You just act like you know what you're doing. You just
Yeah.
walk in there like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, sure.
yeah. Just go to go to the Hyatt, take a massive dump, and leave. I mean, it's not a problem.
Most of this podcast,
Over first topic.
Get out of this.
Really go to
Start to leave and it just comes back. Okay,
Yeah.
like I guarantee, like we could talk, we could just change the whole conversation completely.
Well,
We'll
it's
just
gonna-
it's
lead
gonna go
back to the same thing.
You're
If
talking-
we have an idea for the name of this like podcast
Yeah, why don't you
episode.
think of what we would name it, and I'm concerned.
It's just
potty talks.
potty
Potty talk.
You mentioned Buggies. I know. Most of you guys are from the south,
I've never even been there.
right? No one, you've never been.
What do
to
you mean
Buggies.
most?
Have you been to Buc-ee's?
We've
I
been to
mean,
Buc-ee's
Tucker-
multiple times.
3 out of 5 of us are all from the north and our family.
When did you go to Buc-ee's?
Tucker.
We've been
and
like
Caleb.
twice. I know
Oh, you guys all went.
Like,
We
Caleb's
went
from
out
Bowling
to
Green. This ain't
Joseph and
south,
Chris's
south.
reception.
Yeah,
Do you consider Bowling
And
Green
then
south?
we
Yeah.
went go-karting.
Yeah.
See, that's a
South.
question in
Right.
itself. We have 2 different conversations
Okay,
going on.
all right,
Let's get
all right, all right.
half-
Which one is better?
What's south?
Common.
Where's the line?
Huh?
Where's the line? What's south?
Tennessee.
Kentucky is south.
Okay.
Okay,
I
people
thought
that
that-
say Tennessee is not south.
No one here will say that.
Wait, what?
I was like, Kentucky is south, and I came here, and they're like, anyone I ever said to, they're like, what are you talking about? Like, we are not south.
Who's doing that?
Like, everybody I've ever talked to.
A couple people.
Don't say that
I've
to-
heard people say that Tennessee.
No
does
one-
it, and I
Don't say that to
Tennessee.
Bob.
Well, it's just, well, I think Bob might say that, but like,
Well,
I bet
think,
if you went down to Tennessee, they'd say they weren't south either.
No, I think
claim
that culturally Kentucky is in the South, as far as like how people treat other people and how they are politically and that sort ideologically.
Maybe that's it.
But as geographically, yes, we're kind of central, more Midwestern than we are South.
But I rely.
That makes sense. But like,
But
I thought coming down here from Indiana, I thought like everyone would have like really big accents and everything, but that's like, for the most part, not a thing here. Some people do, like, but I've seen it range quite a bit.
well, and that part of that's Bowling Green. Bowling Green is like not very similar to anywhere else as far as people.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it feels like, right?
Yeah, you get out in the counties, you get out in Allen County or Butler County, or just get out of the city. People are gonna talk way different
A
than
lot
they
of
do
people
here.
are like a little more similar. I feel like. Also,
Yeah.
feel like there are. I feel like I can say this. There are a lot of Hispanics that moved to Bowling Green.
Yeah.
A lot that-
Yeah, dude. When I worked at Chick-fil-A, so many Hispanic families would come there, and like most of them not even speaking English. Like their kids were translating, and I was like, "Wow, this is like crazy."
Yeah,
Well, what about the Civil War? Where did Kentucky
It
fall?
was south, wasn't it?
so Kentucky
I know
was
history.
Kentucky actually told both the North and the South that if they brought troops into Kentucky, they would fight whoever. So they remained neutral for most of the war until I think like 1863, and they allied themselves with the Union because the South kind of were more aggressive, and I think there was more of a Unionist leaning in Kentucky anyway. But they, back then they really didn't want a war in the state. They didn't want it to be like Virginia where you had all these massive battlefields and had a lot of people dying, and a lot of the infrastructure and stuff in Kentucky was saved because of that. So actually Bowling Green was the Confederate capital of Kentucky when they invaded. So
Wasn't that like a base at where Van Meter is on WKU's campus? Like there's like a base up there
yes, and at Reservoir Hill.
in Reservoir. Yeah.
Yeah. So those two, where the school is, and where
The water tower.
the water towers are. Where the water tower with the
you can see a lot from it because it's like at the top of hills, right? Like really, so
Yeah.
you can see a lot. From up
yeah.
there.
And I mean, you have to think too. Back then, Bowling Green wasn't nearly as big as it is now, so you could see,
Less
all the way
buildings
over
and
to
all
those
that.
ridges. You could see anyone that was coming to approach the town, and the biggest battle in Kentucky was I think it was October 1863 in Perryville, which is about 2 hours east of here, near Harrodsburg, Danville area. So it's really interesting. Kentucky really wasn't that big of a Civil War battleground area, but
So were
Yeah.
there slaves at one point in Kentucky?
yes. So that's the thing is like Kentucky's economy was very slave driven at the time. I mean, I
Wasn't
mean,
like the whole world.
but at the same time, there was very unionist
Undertones.
undertones in the government. So it's very interesting. Kentucky and Missouri and Maryland were the three kind of states in the middle, and I think Kentucky was definitely the one to go unionist. The other two kind of stayed neutral the whole time. But anyway, so yeah, I think
Interesting
Kentucky's in the
podcast.
South just culturally. I just the way people talk here, the way people, sweet tea. If I think you're in the South, if you can get sweet tea, you can go to McDonald's and get sweet tea. You're in the South.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, that's valid. Okay, but like, regardless though, people that argue that unsweet tea is superior to the actual sweet tea, like,
Well, I actually don't drink sweet tea anymore just for health reasons. But
okay.
am I going to say that it tastes better than sweet tea? No. No, I just don't. I mean, that's like saying I think a donut tastes worse than a piece of kale. I mean, if you say that, you may be going to Blaze Pizza on Fridays and wiping poop on the court seats. So, so anyway, that's what I think about it. But anyway, what about? There's some people. So I had a friend of mine from Southern Indiana who claimed that he was in the South.
Okay.
From Indiana?
In the
Yeah.
south of Indiana.
Yeah.
they're-
Well, no,
Yeah.
he claimed that he was Southern.
They're okay. We have these things in Indiana. They're like things, people, I guess. Barely, but like
Barely.
they're like Southern wannabes,
Oh.
but they're not Southern. But
You
they
mean-
like
Your whole hometown.
yeah. Cloverdale. It's called Clovertucky because we had a bunch of like hick wannabes, but they weren't even. It's just like it was just weird. It's like stop.
Yeah.
Get
It's
some
not
gold.
like cowboy hats, like duels in the street.
Yeah.
Like
They would like try to talk with an accent, and like it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, good old small towns
Yeah,
in
no,
Indiana.
So,
Yeah.
you know, people just walk out the door and start fighting each other.
on site.
Yeah,
at the saloon.
I think we're going a little more western.
Yeah, that sounds like Old West, not South.
No, back in our day.
But yeah.
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 So like in Indiana, like what is, for me, I've lived in Kentucky my whole life. Like what is, if I were to go to Indiana, where would you say, hey, this is where you want to go do this at in Indiana? Like in Kentucky, I know if you want to go see sports, you really want to go to Lexington, go see UK, play basketball or football, maybe go and look at Churchill Downs in Louisville or Keeneland and Lexington. Like there's things that I know throughout the state. Like what in Indiana?
Yeah.
The only thing that I know, Indianapolis has some stuff.
Indy
Columbus
500.
has some
That's
stuff.
true. That's true. That's true.
Indy 500's like kind of a big deal.
In the MotoGP.
I don't know where that's at though.
Well, they don't do that anymore in Indiana.
Yeah, they,
Right.
They don't go there anymore.
Right. There's corn.
There's a lot of corn. If you like corn,
We got that here too.
Yeah.
But they make it into liquor. They don't eat it right here.
Yeah. What are the draws to Indiana?
Yeah. Well, why would I want to go there?
Besides
I
the
mean,
Indy
yeah, there's
500.
Indy 500, which I don't think I ever went to that. We went some race, but like we were little, I don't even remember that. Something I don't even like watching sports that much, but like the Indianapolis Indians would love going to that. Not even watch the game, just
Yeah,
eat all the
that's,
food.
I hate to break it to you, buddy, but that's minor league also. That's not even.
Is that? So
Yeah.
people don't
Nobody
go
even
watch
knows
that?
about that. Yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna watch it either, but they got good food.
Yeah.
Minor
Hey,
league.
minor league games are fun.
Yeah, they are.
Colts, so that's bigger.
We still haven't been to the hot rods. We gotta
I've
go
been to Hot Rods. It's
sometime.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Indiana's got some basketball teams.
Yeah.
A
Pacers.
basketball
College
team.
and professional.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
Butler. You got Indiana.
Purdue.
Purdue. Notre Dame.
Are you?
Yeah. That's true.
IUPUI.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, Indiana college
out
wise. Indiana college wise is pretty good sports.
Yeah.
Wise, like with Notre Dame and
Notre Dame, yeah.
Yeah.
Get those fighting Irish.
yeah, Indiana's not terrible as well, right?
Yeah, they're
IU?
pretty good in basketball.
Yeah.
Probably one of the top 10 programs of all time.
Purdue basketball right now is on top of the world almost.
Yeah.
Well, except for in the bracket.
Well, I mean, they did better than Kentucky.
Good
So,
interpretation.
well, no, they lost first round, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Kentucky did better than them, but still, yeah, they're doing pretty good. Been doing pretty good the last couple of years.
But yeah, other than that, Indiana's kind of yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you like corn.
Yeah.
corn, soybeans.
Corn soybeans.
Yeah,
Dude, you drive through Indiana, you just don't see anything for days. It's like
Well, you see
some
corn.
people
very
like that.
interesting.
mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
mean,
Sure,
Yep.
sure.
I ain't about that life.
you know, it's nice.
It's kind of
Yeah.
flat.
Yeah,
land.
flat.
There's a lot of like old towns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like you can just be like driving, and all of a sudden you like hit some town that looks like it's ancient.
yeah.
Yeah.
You go 5 minutes and then.
Bo
it's
just
nothing
went to
again
high
for the
school
next
here.
day.
You know,
Clovertucky.
yeah. It's like, and then you look underneath, the bench. It's like Abraham, and my 12 sons, or Jacob. It'd be Jacob, not Abraham.
A plus S with a heart.
Yeah, yeah, Abraham. Abraham was here. No, that's.
Yeah, we don't have any like big landmarks or anything in Indiana I can think of.
I mean, surely we did.
I mean, like
Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
You know all those videos? It's like Gary, Indiana. It's like some other
it's like
place.
the
That was like the best TikTok
Yeah,
trend.
That's hilarious. So like, is in Kentucky basketball is probably the most important sport. Like people follow it, people
Probably.
watch it all the time. Football, Kentucky college football has probably become the second most. And I almost think that there's more. The numbers aren't there, but the fervor. People are more interested in it just because of they're doing better than they ever have.
Yeah.
But I feel like Indiana basketball hasn't been great since like the early 90s or late 90s.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Colts have been good, but they haven't been good since Andrew Luck decided to quit. So,
yeah.
like, I don't know about
Rip
you
that.
all, but, you know, where are people excited about Indiana right now? Like, I can tell you in Kentucky what people are excited about.
I don't know. You're talking to the wrong people when you're talking about sports.
Well, I mean,
they
no,
don't know nothing
just in
about
general.
sports.
I mean, not necessarily in sports, but
Yeah, I couldn't even. I'm from Michigan, so.
Oh, well.
Don't ask me.
Michigan. Yeah, Michigan's a cool place.
tractors.
Tractors.
People always say about that.
Hey, I'll talk to you.
green.
John Deere.
John Deere. Wait, man, if it's a John Deere or Massey or International, I'll take them all.
Everybody just drives their John Deere's to school.
Yeah.
Hey, we
Even
do
the
that.
elementary schoolers like pulling up.
Hey, there you go. Start them right. Yes, sir.
No one actually drives cars in Indiana. Everyone just drives their tractors.
Fun
Or
fact,
lawnmower.
a lot of people don't know that.
Yep. Go to Indiana, you won't see any cars.
So,
Just throw tractors.
y'all have like
Different society.
a bunch of old men that drive their lawnmowers everywhere.
That was us. That was literally us.
So,
It's like
We just drove it from one house to another to do grass.
not everywhere, but like yeah.
so
Into
like,
the gas station.
yeah.
Well, we would drive it like a mile down. Not even a mile. Was it a mile?
I don't actually
What about-
remember ever going to the gas station.
Not to the gas station, but
I've-
like we would drive it about a mile
I've
back
totally
and forth
seen
between
guys
houses.
in your hometown getting gas with their lawnmower at the gas
And then we would drive it to
station.
school. Drive it to school one day a year. The last day was it just the seniors or everyone?
It's
in high
the
school?
seniors.
All the seniors, their last day of school would just drive something. Right, that's not even just Cloverdale. Though. That's I think other people do that too.
Yeah,
So
probably.
most people tractors, lawnmowers, pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's the extent.
But the tractor's normal because we already
Yeah.
said there's no cars. Everyone drove their tractors everywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a good time though. It's a good time.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put the two people with tuberculosis over here.
Yeah.
Over here dying. we can't talk.
Yeah.
That's because we have Windex and you don't.
See,
Yeah,
like,
we have a
and like,
unknown arbitrary
it's so different
cleaning
than like
liquid.
Michigan, because like in Michigan we're just like passionate about everything, like
You mean hockey?
hockey, and
Hockey
just,
is
like,
Everything.
in general, all of our sports teams except our football team have had massive success at some point in their like time frame.
And massive brawls.
I mean,
Yeah.
Michigan is one of the like Michigan Wolverines is one of the best college football programs of all time.
Yeah, and
So, I
we're
mean-
doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, I mean,
too,
y'all, yeah,
even.
Jim Harbaugh's doing pretty well.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
that's debatable.
I mean,
To some
they
people.
they're better now than they have been, you know, since like the beginning of the 2000s. I mean,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
under y'all got beat by what was it, Appalachian State like in 2007. I remember
couldn't
that
even
they
tell you.
blocked the field goal and ran it back for a touchdown.
Oh,
So cool.
that was a state. We against Michigan State, we kicked it. It got blocked. The punter picked it up and tried to kick it again and kicked it right into a Michigan State player's
But-
hands.
Dude,
And
the
he
amount
ran
of
it back.
guilt somebody would have felt after something like that. Right?
And that's like the guy that had like the suicide or like the suicide.
so, hey, bro.
The surrender cobra, he was just like, you know,
Yeah, yep.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, but this is a different one. This was before that.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was like one of the worst losses of all time, like as far as the
Yeah.
what people thought was going to happen with like betting and stuff. I think they were like a 35-point underdog or something, and they ended up
Welcome
beating
to
them. And they were FCS at the time, which Appalachian State I think is a Sun Belt now, and they're doing pretty good. But
welcome to Michigan.
Yeah.
Our football, Michigan and football don't get along very well. Except the Lions have some hype around them now, but that's all. It's just hype for now.
Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Yeah.
yeah,
They're
DeAndre
carrying the franchise.
DeAndre Swift. Is that right?
We got rid of him.
You got
actually.
ready? Wow.
Yeah, because we drafted a different running back and
Bruh.
signed a different one in
Yeah.
free agency. But yeah, I know these guys are big sports guys. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
See, like, I'm just being honest. Like
Well, that's-
half the time when I think of Michigan, I just think of like the amount of weed signs that there are. Just like think of like
We-
the old lady promoting it and just how,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know,
We love our cannabis.
That's
in
what they're
Michigan.
that's what they're
Cannabis.
passionate about.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hockey and
Our like
Yes.
our grandparents like have neighbors next to them that have a bunch of land, and they have been like busted for growing weed before in their woods. And
Bro.
stuff.
in their woods.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
it's
anymore.
bad here too. Like Kentucky is one of the worst
Really?
places for
Really?
illegal cannabis.
Good to know.
Yeah, people. It's apparently the climate is perfect for it. So people just they'll put it in like there's these big plots of normal crops, and they'll hide it like in the crops, so you can't see it. Like once the
Gotcha.
corns are grown up, you can kind of like cut little paths and do stuff like that. So
Noted.
It's like these strawberries smell a bit off.
It's turned into
Yeah.
a how-to video. How-to.
So that's
Tell us more. Tell us more.
That's what you've been growing back there.
Yeah, literally.
yeah, I mean potatoes. You know,
There's probably
uh,
20 like giant bags of fertilizer on the porch right now.
Yeah.
Fucker, these are weird-looking taters you're growing.
Hey, well, listen, I don't have the right dirt yet. That's seriously what the problem is. I have to have a different type of dirt, and I haven't gotten it yet. And I can't buy it at the store, so I have to get somebody to come out here with a truck.
Man's got to do what
Man's
he's
got
got
bad
to do.
dirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, bro.
Congrats.
Yeah. No, I've only been to Michigan once. Actually, I ran in a relay race. No, I was in Illinois, so that would have been Michigan, but it was in
Yeah, those are
Chicago.
the different states.
Yeah, but it was similar. It was a similar kind of. It was on the lake. It was
Oh, yeah.
on the lake, so it was
Yeah.
kind of a similar vibe.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, Michigan's a pretty cool place. Home of Ted Nugent and Steve Rinella, so some good guys.
And J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, yeah.
Legend. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a good place. Cool place.
It is a cool place. It is a cool place. I'm glad someone's supporting me for once, you know.
Well,
You
we've
know,
been loving
I
this
usually just take-
recognition of
yeah.
Michigan.
I usually just take hate for Michigan, so I'll take it. But do we want to open up into the snack debate, or
Ooh.
we say
Okay, I will. Since I talked a lot before, y'all can have this, and then I will interject.
And then you'll tell us where.
Tucker has a lot.
I'll tell you where they grow the best snacks.
let's start
They
with
cut
that
out a
couch.
section of corn crops.
We'll start
and-
with that couch over there. And let them get their words in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I mean-
like the best snacks. Just
Yeah, like a couple like number one favorites. Like for example, hot Cheetos definitely.
Hot
up there.
Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos are absolutely up there on the list.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. That's
Like,
where you start. That's where
Absolutely,
you start.
absolutely. I mean, like I
Alright.
feel like chips in general is like a very good
Alright.
snack.
Now, are we talking the red, like, you know, you're going to see it the next day?
Well, listen, I also,
Cheetos
it's also dependent on how
to
much you
it.
eat. Like,
Or
if
are
you're
you
eating like a
talking-
giant family-sized bag of hot Cheetos, and I think that's just a difference.
That's
Well, no,
a
no.
serving size.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying there's a difference because there's those, and then there's the jalapeno cheddar, which I actually
Jalapeno cheddar's
think
pretty good.
Jalapeno
Those
cheddar
are pretty good. Those are pretty
are
good.
better than the hot flaming hot. I like them both.
That's
I like
true.
them both.
That's
But
The
the
jalapeno
hot-
cheddar is more bearable. You can actually
Yeah,
eat
that's
more
true.
of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like fully like barrel stuff there.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
what about you know you can't eat a lot of these, but
Jalapeno cheddar?
But Takis? Takis.
Takis
I'm not a
are
fan of
nasty.
Takis.
I was like,
I'm not a fan. I
I
don't get the
love
hype.
Takis.
You do?
Intense flavor.
I can't.
I
They're just
don't know. Like, it's
disgusting.
just I don't get the hype.
If you guys
It's
are like
like-
cringing in pain based off of like the extreme flavors of this, like,
No, bro. It's like it takes you for a ride. You gotta let it gotta take a bite and then just let it.
I think you're confusing with what you've been growing.
Well, I mean, if you take them together, if you take those two, one of them.
Yeah, maybe that's
yeah.
what we've been doing wrong.
He's
Haven't
over here spiking the
Yeah.
jalapeno cheddar
Yeah.
Cheetos.
Have a little dust on them, But okay, what about you, Nolan? What's yours? So we got hot
My
Cheetos.
go-to snack.
Cheetos, hot Cheetos.
My go-to snack would have to be just popping in a whole pizza.
That's
not
a
a
meal.
snack.
That's a
That's not a
meal.
snack. That's
No,
your
dude.
whole meal.
I just eat that whole thing.
Dude, you eat
I'd
pizza
snack
like
on
6
that.
times a week, man. That doesn't count.
You don't need
Yeah.
snacks when you just eat a whole pizza at a time.
Exactly.
Now, pizza roll,
Dude,
I could see that.
pizza rolls with
Pizza
ranch.
rolls.
I'll eat a
Rolls
whole
with
bag of
ranch.
pizza rolls. Like that's equivalent of.
I have pizza rolls.
It's
to
not
make.
even a
I'm
snack
gonna
at
make
that
pizza
point.
rolls.
Bagel
after
bites? Have
this.
you guys had bagel bites?
Bagel bites?
Bagel bites. Dude, I love bagel bites.
over
Ah,
pizza
come on.
rolls though?
Well, not
rolls,
over
I don't
pizza
know.
rolls. I'm just
Okay,
saying they're
okay,
good.
okay.
I don't think I have like a go-to snack. Like
What?
You have
I
like a
don't-
favorite chip.
What?
I don't really just snack. I just like
Man,
eat really,
really?
big meals and
Yeah.
that's it.
What?
So, no,
By
like,
big meals, you mean pizza?
I mean, like,
Like you're feeling a little bit hungry, not enough for a whole pizza.
I don't think I'm ever feeling just like a little bit hungry.
It's just always full
It's-
pizza mode.
it's
24/7.
all or nothing.
I get valid.
Oh my.
it's like no chips,
like-
no popcorn.
Okay, like what pizza then? I'm good. Like,
What's
do, you, do you consider cheese a topping?
Supreme.
Yes.
Are there
No,
different types of
no,
pizza?
just
Are there-
Supreme. A big old Supreme pizza. You just pop it in, pull it baby out.
Okay. All right. Let me get us back on track with the snacks.
I'm really
Yeah.
curious.
I know none of you are thinking it. Pigs in a blanket, dude.
What?
Bro.
Pigs in a blanket are so good.
They're good.
Are you
Pretty
serious?
But, like,
Like,
go
I could
Are you
eat,
kidding me
like,
right now?
so many pigs in a blanket.
to snack.
Yeah.
Pigs in a blanket.
They're good, but like I would.
You just sit down and
I
eat
would-
pigs
Yeah,
in a blanket.
over chips. And I would feel better about like if I open a
Over
bag
chips.
of something, like I'm gonna feel bad once I like eat the whole thing or something.
But after
if I
eating
spend a
like
giant
50
bowl,
pigs in a blanket.
oh dude, give me more, dude.
Oh, great.
Dude, I'd be like dying. I'd be like on the floor.
Dude.
Right? Okay.
I like
I get
processed
it.
Me too, but like
Is that
more.
the worst take in the history of the
I mean-
podcast?
Leave it to the Manners brothers to completely miss the assignment.
Yeah.
Pigs in a
like
blanket
pigs in a
hot
blanket.
snack.
No,
I
like,
know.
I'm thinking like something that you go into a gas station and you're like, I can
Man.
easily find this
Okay.
on the shelf.
I just
That's my criteria for
Okay.
a snack. Like a convenience store, gas station, like Walgreens. It's 3 a.m. You've been planting your potatoes in your backyard, and you need to have something to eat because you're just dying.
Goldfish will never miss.
Goldfish.
Okay,
Goldfish,
yeah, goldfish.
never miss.
Goldfish.
They
Was it like
always
the
are
extreme
so
cheddar or
good.
whatever it is one?
Yeah.
No, just
Why
a
do you guys
regular-
need the extreme of all your snacks?
Regular
Because that
goldfish.
means the extreme means better. Extreme means better.
Amen, Caleb. Amen.
regular goldfish. That's the
Okay.
only way to go.
Not the rainbow goldfish.
No,
the
not
rainbow ones are
okay.
good.
You guys remember
I like the
s'more goldfish?
Yes.
Those were pretty good. I
You
remember
guys
those. Those were
chocolate
pretty good.
graham cracker and those marshmallow ones that are like
Bro.
a little softer.
Those
I don't think I-
Pizza goldfish? You ever had the
Yes.
pizza flavored goldfish?
I
I don't think I had that.
The pizza
Really?
blasted is
Yeah.
the best one. It's
Yeah.
it's better. The pizza
Yeah, I
flavor
forgot
blast.
those
A
existed.
pretzel M&M still a thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'll take back my
Those are
earlier
pop-
statement. Pretzel M&Ms.
Pretzel
Okay.
M&Ms.
Better than
like-
peanut M&Ms.
Better than peanut? I gotta think about it.
Now,
I think about
I
it.
don't
Especially
know.
like
I think
for
about it.
I
movies,
don't
that's like
know.
the go-to. Pretzel
Yeah,
M&Ms.
movies.
Or like going into the drive-through or
Like,
drive
listen,
theater.
you eat the
Not
chocolate
drive-thru.
around the pretzel, and then you eat the pretzel after. Like it's just it's a whole process.
Man,
Yeah.
It's a whole
that's
process.
bold. That's bold.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's bold?
I don't know.
How's that
I don't
bold?
know.
You just like
Okay.
suck on the chocolate and then the pretzel.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got pretzel M&Ms.
Straight up.
We got
Absolutely.
Flamin' Red Hot Cheetos.
Oh, yeah.
We got
Pigs in a blanket.
pigs in a blanket. Which
You don't have to
Would
stand
you-
by
would you
it,
like-
man.
I have to say, it's so good.
I
Is
never
that still what you can go with? Like you're gonna walk into
A gas
gas
station.
Give me your
station.
finest
Yeah.
pigs in a
Yeah.
blanket,
Pigs in a
please.
Pigs in a blanket.
okay, all right,
Take it in-
all right. Bold move, Cotton, but we're gonna go with it.
You got something, Tucker?
Yeah. So
Got Cracker Jack.
I really like, if I'm going on a road trip, I'm about to go on one tomorrow. I'm going to Knoxville. It's about a 3.5 hour drive, and so I like to I'll get me like a 12-ounce bottle of milk.
That is a strong opening.
No, wait.
Wrong opening.
That's not my snack. I'm just saying what I get. I'll get one of those, and then I'll get like some nuts or something. Like one of those things of nuts. But the thing that like if I could get it every time, I would get it is some high quality beef jerky.
Oh.
Bro,
There's
I
apparently a
don't know.
Hold
no.
up.
Okay, for just knowledge reasons, Cole has a van named Krusty, right? And apparently there's a big no-go in with jerky and Krusty.
It's
right?
the smelliest snack.
It
Because it is the
smells. It
smelliest
smells.
snack. But listen, it's good though. I mean, I don't think that should completely counteract its
I have
taste.
yet to find a packaged beef jerky that is good. Like, it's not the. I've had the real deal, and I think it's just too much. It was too much for me because now I'm like, all this packaged
It's
stuff
better.
is
It
disgusting.
doesn't compare. Even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
mean,
will
yeah.
say the price for the amount you get is also, I think, probably one of my biggest issues. Like 3 pieces of beef jerky for like $10. I'm like,
Yeah,
alright.
if we're talking the one that I'm like gonna eat the most,
Sure.
it wouldn't be beef jerky.
Okay.
But if it's something that like money's no object, we're talking Jurassic Park, spared no
This man has
expense.
his mind on
I'm gonna
things
get
that
me some
create
good
a
old
money.
Mingy beef jerky, rip that puppy open, and go to
Straight up.
town.
Should go to town.
All right. So that's my take. If we're not doing that,
Uh-huh.
we're probably gonna do like some Grippo's chips.
What are
Rippos.
those? I don't even know what you're talking
Oh,
The
dude.
white package with the red. lettuce.
Yeah, they got they're like barbecue flavor and they're a little bit spicy. It's like eating at a barbecue
Yeah.
in a bag.
But are they extreme spicy?
No, they're not that. They're kind of like
Stream
They're
doesn't
not
think that's
extreme.
good.
Really
no,
good.
they're not extreme, but they're flavorful.
It's not even good then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't skip the next day.
If you don't feel it the next day,
Okay.
You don't like slap yourself and then
if it
That's
doesn't
even the
cause you to
point
go
of
into
s-
blaze and rub it on the toilet seat, you're not in it.
Oh
Not worth
man.
it. Not worth it.
Okay.
Okay, what about you, Cole? What is your favorite snack?
Well, I said goldfish.
Goldfish.
Those
Yeah.
are the best of all.
I
I think
mean-
goldfish are good.
Plain old
I'll also-
classic.
It just feels like
Man.
a safe bet.
Number one.
I mean, if I'm going to a gas station to grab something, I don't even. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't even. It's always random. I'm
Dude,
always in the mood for
Pringles?
something different.
So
So I can't even
Yeah.
say for
Pringles.
sure.
Those will get messy though. If you're
They do get messy, but I feel like that's just like a very go-to
But-
snack.
see, I think combos
Okay.
are one of the best.
Combos, dude. That's literally.
I was
can't
gonna bring
remember
those
the
up.
name. Literally, I don't know how I can.
Combos are one of the
I'll
best
just-
things.
I
Pizza
feel like they're, like,
combos.
half disgusting, half amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's
it's
something
true.
about it. It is not good, but it's also amazing at the
Yes.
same
There's
time.
like the pizza flavor, and then there's probably like no,
The
like
cheese.
a toothpaste
Cheese in a packet.
flavor
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do these taste so good? And then like you're halfway through the bag, and you're like, I hate my life.
Yeah.
I don't know why I think these taste good.
Yeah.
I just keep eating them. Those combos
They're-
are good, and you don't know how long they've been sitting there. They've probably been sitting there since that store opened.
Literally.
Yeah.
Look at the smelliest cheese though. Like you open that
Yes.
thing, it's
Yeah.
just like
It's the most. It's a distinctive smell.
Yes.
It's a very
Yeah.
distinctive smell.
Yeah.
They probably put nicotine in those
Oh,
things or
yeah.
something.
They-
There's
they
no
put
way.
some kind of
There's no way they
addictive
should be
chemical.
that good.
But yeah, combos. What's another one? Like Chex Mix is good.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just not a big trail mix guy. I don't
Trail,
understand.
no, dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Trail
I mean,
mix is
dude, trail mix
disgusting.
is like as I've heard it
literally
said.
like any kind of trail mix.
It's literally
Y'all like
M&Ms
that?
but with
Absolutely.
obstacles. You guys heard about that with trail mix before?
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
like-
people say, but
Yeah.
they're just wrong, dude. Like anything about Pro Mix.
See,
Like, the raisins.
I just
so good.
I'm not a fan of raisins. I'll be honest. I'm
Hey,
not a big
cashews in
Yeah.
there?
Dude,
Yeah,
okay.
cashews in there.
I'm
Cashews
not saying
are
there
good. Cashews are
either, but like in a trail mix, like you have to have
Why? What's the difference? If you don't like
It's
raisins,
just like
then don't eat raisins.
trail mix is like all about that contrast and like
It's all
all
about
the
that
different.
M&Ms and like nuts for me.
Well, you get
Yeah.
the sweet, you get the salty,
Yeah.
you get that tangy raisin
Ooh.
bit, and then
Yeah.
like whatever else you want to throw in there.
See, this is how you can tell that me and Caleb are from the South.
Straight up.
Because we're like, this is actually decent food, and they're over eating they're eating like mule feed over there. Like, oh, this is great. I'm over here like having to figure out what I'm eating, and we're going in there. We're like, we know we want the pizza. We want the pizza combos.
Yeah.
We're not wanting to play Russian roulette with those snacks here.
And then
So-
there's Tucker who stops at the gas station, just like, get me a bottle of
Bottle
milk.
of milk, good pizza.
No, literally, no. Okay, about
Pork
milk-
skins, bro.
Hey, yes, chicharrones, buddy.
Dude, my dad literally
You
drew
just
me up
made
on
that
that stuff.
No,
Like,
it's real.
good.
Look it up.
They're
So one time my dad was eating one of those, and they're really light, and they're like that big, and my dad eats really fast.
What is
anyway.
this?
One of like the big pork skins,
Okay.
and he like inhaled that thing, and like got stuck in his throat. So he's like trying to cough it up, and I'm trying not to laugh. I'm trying to help him, like, make sure he doesn't swerve off the road.
Choking in his neck.
He like sucked it down, like.
He's like, I'm not letting this go to
No,
waste.
you're the out.
Yes.
Open the bag.
Yeah.
Tail it.
Yes. Back when he could eat them, he's allergic to them now, but he used to be able to eat them.
Really?
Yeah, he got bit by. There's this thing called a Lone Star tick that has something in it that causes, when you get bit by it, it causes you to be allergic to red meat. So like pork,
I think I've heard of that.
beef,
Oh,
lamb.
yeah.
It's and what it is there's a carbohydrate that's in mammal blood. It's not in people and it's not in like some apes, but it's in everything else like deer and elk and beef and pork, and it's called alpha gal. And if you ingest red meat, you'll have like allergic reaction, like almost die. So my dad's had like 10 of these, and we finally figured it out after he had a roast beef sandwich, and we're like, okay, we know what it is. You know, he eat 2 pounds of beef and have allergic reaction. Well, must be that. So
Man.
yeah,
But like when you say like the tick gave that to him, like the tick itself didn't have it, did it? Did it like get onto like the deer?
So
How does
so
that work?
what?
I don't know. Like,
From what I understand from the research, and you know, feel free to look this up in your own time.
You're not
The
science.
tick has to bite like a deer
yeah,
or a
so-
cow,
okay.
and then it has to bite you. So, you know, like I've been bit by ticks before, and I don't, you know, I've never had any issue with it. Some people, some of the research, it's a relatively new thing. I think it was only discovered like 10 years ago. It's not that old. So some guy in North Carolina figured it out. But the tick has to bite something else, and then it has to bite you. And so that's how it. Because what happens is whatever's in the tick, it like reinserts that alpha gal sugar into your body, and your body's like, oh, that's bad. So then your body creates all these antibodies to fight that off, and then you eat a piece of steak or a chicharron or whatever.
Yeah.
And your body's like, there's a billion ticks biting my stomach at this very moment.
Why?
So you freak out. So like my dad would like throw up. He'll get anaphylactic shock. We have to give an EpiPen and take him to the hospital.
And it's completely like irreversible. Right?
There's some folks that it's not as bad, and they've like been able after the tick bite. As long as they don't get bit again, they kind of go back to normal. But my dad has not had that happen. He's had it for probably the past 7 or 8 years, and
Wow.
it's not gotten any better. So like occasionally he'll get like a bit of pork or bacon or something in his food, and he'll have a reaction. I mean, usually it happens like in the middle of the night when you're digesting the food, so it's not like
So
immediately.
it takes a while.
Oh.
Yeah,
So you couldn't even know if you
yeah, you
inhaled
don't know
right-
until
right.
like hours and hours later.
Man.
That's rough.
Yeah, so the funny story about this, and I'll quit talking about it. We didn't know he had it at the time, but we were in Wyoming, and my dad woke up, and he's had allergic reactions to other things before. He woke up in the middle of the night, and he said his hands and his feet were itching, and that's a common sign of like an severe allergic reaction. That's your palms itch and the pads of your feet itch. So he's like, I got to get up. I got to get to the bathroom. I'm gonna throw up, or I just need to get where I can take care of myself. And so he gets up, and Mom's helping him, and he falls and like pushes her into the door, like, and I'm sitting in the like about 20 feet away in the living room sleeping on the couch, and when he falls and hits the floor, the lamp in front of me just starts shaking like that. Like he hit the floor that hard.
Wow.
Man.
Anyway, so my brother gets out of his room, and he's got like the flu, and my mom's, like, your dad's fell, check, make sure he's okay and everything. And my brother like checks his pulse, he's like, oh, he's okay, he's all right. And so my dad's like, I'm gonna throw up. So he tried. Mom's like, well, get in the bathtub, get on the toilet. And my dad goes, I don't have the strength. And me and my brother were just dying laughing. So he's like, like, it was one of the funniest things.
Classic dad.
We didn't know. I mean, we just thought he got some kind of, food poisoning or something. We had no idea that it was. And there's been like 6 or 8 other times before he got diagnosed that he had these reactions, and we had no idea because no one knew about it.
Oh.
But you know, if we want to do it on a later podcast, I can tell you the whole narrative. Like, there's been probably a dozen times he could have died from that. There was one time that he almost did die from it because they didn't know what it was, and they thought he was having a heart attack. So they started giving him, they started like shocking him, trying to bring him back to life.
Oh, man.
So yeah,
Dude,
It's-
this
yeah.
man's been through so much.
dude, he has. My dad is like Daniel Boone level legend, literally. Like some of the stuff he's done is wild. It's just wild.
You showed how much of a Kentucky boy you are.
No.
Daniel,
Daniel
Boone.
Come on, man.
That's our go.
Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett. Come on, guys.
Oh boy.
It's Crotchet.
No. No.
And on that note,
That's a gem worthy still.
Yeah.
You cannot be saying that. You can't be saying about Davy
Well-
Crockett. Come on now.
I feel like
It was
we
not about
covered
David Crockett.
very.
Crockett.
I feel like we covered a very wide range of topics, but it's probably a good time to wrap it up. We're getting close to that hour
Yeah.
time.
The hour time.
Yeah.
The hour of
So-
10:30.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, not. I don't think the hour specifically, but like we've got an hour worth of content,
Yeah.
bro. Well, like
Good one, Grant.
yeah. So
Stupid. Oh, I'm not gonna be on the next one.
yeah, Grant's like, I'm done. So y'all didn't like my pigs in a blanket comment. I'm leaving. I'm taking my little piggies and I'm going home.
Don't disrespect the pigs.